work with will actually pay me out of their operating costs. So 100% of someone's money goes to 100% of their program. It never goes to pay for me. So that is huge, huge, huge. Because most people are in that space where they are playing catch up.
Right.
Because we've all experienced life. We've lost money in the market. We're kind of getting back to where we were before, and so it's we want our money to start working for us, and those fees will limit our ability to play catch up. So that's kind of how we show up a little bit differently. So I get to have fun and bring hope every day to people about their money. So I have a blast.
You're great with money, and you're great with spending tons of time with your client. I know because I am a client. And so how do you handle it when people have an unrealistic expectation of what their money should be earning? So for example, I've heard the conversation more than once about finding a place, who knows, where somebody can guarantee a 25% growth, and that's of course in credit card debt.
Right,
The one
right.
place you can guarantee 25% is going to be made is when you owe debt on your credit card. You owe them and they're going to charge you. So, what do you say to a client who is, well, what's the rate that I'm of return and how can you guarantee it? And then you tell them it's, I don't know, what's the current rate of return on things that you do?
So I have some accounts that I can get a contractual guarantee of 7.25%, which is amazing because you just can't find that anywhere else. But then I also have areas or accounts where people in the last year have earned 18 or 19, 15, 16% on their accounts. But then the awesome part of that is that they'll never lose any of that interest. So that's the goal here is because and it's weird because sometimes I'll get that, but because I do so much education in the beginning, I don't really get a whole lot of questions about
About
and
rates.
yeah, about rates. I mean, I can say, okay, this is what it's done over the last 10 years. This is what it's done over this, and know that I'm giving them a good number. I mean, the hard part is that mutual funds, while they've been around since the 60s, maybe late 50s, the way that they market is horrible, and so they don't really paint an accurate picture, and they're able to talk about averages when averages and money don't mix. They should really be reporting an actual return, but they print out averages and all that kind of stuff. So it's having that education piece and understanding that piece um, really goes a long way to help people make really great decisions. Whether it is they're going to leverage their credit and have to buy a house or a car or get a loan, and they understand how that compound interest can work for them or against them, and so that they make good decisions that way too.
It's really amazing, Kristen, because I found myself in many situations where I didn't realize I was the most financially savvy person in the room, and I don't even know how I got there. Um, but like the sheer number of people who don't understand compound interest is
Mm-hmm.
just flabbergasting to me. And yet they're all involved in it in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a mortgage, a bank account, credit card debt, et cetera, et cetera. They don't really get it. And I see a thing going on in America right now where we look like this super wealthy country, and I make a nice living, and I'm watching people spend more money than I would be comfortable spending.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't really know you that well, but I know you well enough to know what you do for a living, and I know you what you do for a living makes roughly this amount of money. So I have no idea how you have, let's say, a $500,000 home and a $75,000 vehicle plus two, and always a new handbag and always new clothes and always at the mall shopping. So we have this thing going on where I feel like the masses of Americans really don't understand the hole they're digging,
Mm-hmm.
and that we have this inflated sense of the world like it's always going to be okay. No matter what, it's just going to be fine. I'm just going to keep spending and racking up the credit card debt, and so when you sit down and you talk to a potential client, what is that response? Do you find that people are really just completely uneducated about the way their credit cards work and their savings accounts work and their mortgages work and their 401k works?
Most of them, it's a mix. It's a mix. There are some people who are very like, I don't like any debt, and blah blah blah. So they those people don't have any debt. But there are some people who are like, well, oh, no wonder I can't pay off my credit card, or just they're not sure where and what to pay off first or how that looks, and so it's 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 a matter of that. I mean, nobody knows how to really teach compound interest, because compound interest, when you really look at the equation, is very, very complicated, and you have to have a special calculator to do it.
Right.
And so most people don't know how to teach it. They don't know how to talk about it. They talk in generalities, and so no wonder people don't understand it, and they don't know how it's going to affect them.
Right.
In the end. Because the other big one that most people have is the student loan debt. Like, nobody understands student loans.
Well,
they're always shocked. I didn't know my payment was going to be this.
But because they're not told. They're really not told. I mean, they're not asking. Because they're 18 years old and they don't know to ask. I mean, we're in this very strange place in American society where there's a lot of victimhood, but we're victimizing and putting ourselves in the role of victim over and over and over. And then the powers that be are adding to that. And it's like this never-ending cycle. And that probably is a whole nother show. the victimness. And I'm happy to open it someday, but not today. So this has been great. This is just to peek everybody into finances, into money, the world of money. And I would just love to say, you've got to find somebody, be it Kristen Judd or someone else, who can teach you about money, because there's so many things about it. There's a right and a wrong way to, invest. The wrong way is to not do it at all. The wrong right is to just stick your head in the sand and act like I'm not going to do that. But it's equally wrong for a lot of us to go out there and put huge chunks of change away into, say, a 401k, because we don't really understand the way it works. So there's just a lot of facets. So please get yourself out there and find yourself a financial person who does not believe that 98% of America is useless to them. And to that, Kristen, where can they find you?
So you can find me on LinkedIn. So I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. You can find my fan page under Money Secrets. I have an email, Kristen with a 10 at fiveringsfinancial.com. And I'm happy to take phone calls as well. 303-944-6195, because I am licensed in quite a few states and can help people whether they're in Colorado or not. So
amazing.
That's really, really cool. I think those are the big ones on how to get a hold of me.
You can also go to team@ralajoy.com, and I can connect those dots. So that's team@ralajoy.com, and I can always get you over to Kristen as well. You could probably also look up, what's the Facebook page for Wine, Women, and Wealth?
It's Financially Savvy Divas, I believe. It's private, but if you ask to come in, I'll let you come in.
Excellent. So Financially Savvy Divas. And as the title states, it's Wine, Women, and Wealth. But we do have a couple of men that support us by sponsoring our location and things like that through Wine, Women, and Wealth. Also, don't forget to hop on over to Amazon.com and look up Own Your Future by Kristen Judd and get your journal, because I know for a fact that having a plan and a strategy in place is one of the most important things. And Look, I love Kristen. I'm sure her journal is amazing. But if it's not Kristen's, find someone else's that communicates with you so that you'll use it. That beautiful book on your shelf does no one any good except to hold down the shelf. So make sure you find something to use and start looking for your motivation. Start being aware of where in life you have a moment of thought where it's, I really would like, fill in the blank. And start looking for what the motivation to change your life around is, and know that there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in the world that have been where you are, that have relinquished their stranglehold on the comfort zone. They've leapt from the abyss of uncertainty right into a life that they chose, designed, and created that's worth living, and you can too. And that's what we do at Joyful Adventure Retreats. We're coming to you soon with a new website, justownYou.com. Until then, team at Rala Joy. But we're going to put up our very first Joyful Adventure group program with a retreat in the middle. Join us for more information there, and we can get you signed up for the newsletter and more information regarding a Joyful Adventure retreat. And I'll tell you more about that later. Thank you so much for spending time with us, Kristen. You are awesome and amazing.
You are awesome. Are you kidding me?
I have good days. And if you need financial literacy and financial education, look Kristen up. She and her husband are amazing, and I happen to know they own an awesome boat. So if you become friends, maybe you can go skiing with them in the summer. And I will get you here next time. Same bat time, same bat channel at The Joy Show on the Coach on Fire Radio Network.
I can do anything. I can reach any goal today. I can do what I want. I can be what I want to be.
Coach on Fire Radio.